Hey there everyone, Matt here, and we're doing something a little bit different today. We're actually going over the Nostalgia Critic episode, the brand new Nostalgia Critic episode, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And normally I probably wouldn't cover the Critic, but this, I decided to make it a special occasion since Batman Mask of the Phantasm, it was my absolute favorite Batman movie of all time. Better than the Nolan movies, better than the Tim Burton movies, just my favorite Batman movie of all time. And hopefully we'll be able to go over why it's so good in this video. Hopefully I'm trusting Doug knows, because I know he's a huge fan of Batman and the Animated Series, just like me, ever since we were kids. And he's also a fan of Spider-Man. It's basically a mirror version of me as far as how many superheroes that I like. I met Doug in a couple of events, a couple of Rhode Island Comic-Cons. And such a nice guy. Always puts the fans first and everything. And he's such a great guy. So, I'm just going to see how his, what his reaction to the movie is. Even though he's talked about it before. But I'm curious to see what his full-length reaction to the movie is. Alright, here we go.
We have sandbags?
It is I, the Phantasm of the studio.
Oh man, I thought we sprayed for these.
I have come to make the rest
Sprayed?
of Dark Knight Month a living hell. Soon you will know the meaning of the word pain, for I am going to ruin this review.
No, it's cool. I'm pretty good at doing that, man.
I'll be lurking in the shadows, stalking your every move, and no matter
That's
how
Tamara,
hard
isn't
you
it?
try, you will never figure out who I am.
Yeah, that's Tamara.
Malcolm.
Of course. Yeah, Dark Knight Month was awesome this year, man.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember, so you don't have to. Well, seeing how we're at the end of Dark Knight Month and there's only one theatrical Batman movie left. Okay, two. Hey, I was in that one. Isn't that enough?
Well,
To look over what many consider the most faithful Batman movie, Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes! My pick.
Based on the hit show Batman the Animated Series,
Yep.
Mask of the Phantasm was released almost 30 years ago, but made very little at the box office, and you can see why. The advertising for it was pretty lame. Just look at this trailer. It's fantastic for a movie released in the 50s.
I remember this was the Free Willy trailer.
Time, America's
This is
most
on Free Willy. I used to
exciting
watch this trailer
legendary
all the
motion
time.
Picture hero in an all-new, larger-than-life feature film.
Chills, thrills, text across pictures. Oh, actually, we haven't mastered that yet, but the font is adventurously boring. Yeah, it told us almost nothing about the movie, so nobody saw it. However, not only did a lot of critics seem to like it even more than the live-action Batmans for adults made at the time.
I enjoyed it more than the
yes, I saw this.
Theater. This film, however, is really smart and beautifully drawn and intricately plotted.
The day is coming when adults are realizing that animation is not limited to an entertainment form
Oh,
for
yeah, but
children.
I remember what they
Those
said.
two know what they're talking about.
I don't like this Joker's
Yep,
voice.
yep. I almost stopped watching them because
It's got a
they said
reputation as
that.
being the Batman
Almost stopped.
movie being the closest
Ridiculous.
to what Batman was, as it was based on arguably the most faithful Batman series. I've talked about how great this movie is in the past, but I've never given a detailed review, and I can't think of a better movie to close out Dark Knight Month with. So let's get started with...
Critic, did you know we have a Phantasm? I thought we sprayed for these.
Oh yeah, just ignore her, she'll go away.
Her? How do you know it's a her?
Are we really doing this?
Hello, boys.
Tamara, have you heard of this mysterious Phantasm?
Why, no, I have not. I best go get this devious deviant.
Godspeed, Tamara. Shouldn't trust anybody.
Dude, we're so close to wrapping up Dark Knight month.
Okay, but I'm gonna get down to the bottom of who this Phantasm really is. Oh! A sandbag.
What is up with the sandbags?
There'd be a sandbag in a hallway.
Let's take a look at Batman Mask of the Phantasm. This intro is pretty fantastic. A lot of CGI in the early 90s doesn't age that well, but with the Art Deco style of the city, this blends pretty great. The music, by the great Shirley Walker, keeps the tradition that the soundtrack to a Batman movie is always spectacular.
Right.
Plus, there's a rumor that the Latin in the choir is really just the names of the music team backwards.
Wait. What?
But everybody
Really?
knows if you play the music backwards, it's really just a recipe for muffins. In Latin. By the devil. After that epic opening, the movie wastes no time getting started, as Batman, played by Kevin Conroy, stops a gangster named Chucky Saul, played by Dick Miller, from creating counterfeit money.
That was Dick Miller? Oh, wow, I had no idea.
Ha! You should have shot where I was going to be! Still the best Batman.
I tend to agree.
Saul is approached, though, by the Phantasm, cleverly voiced by Stacy Keach, who also voices Carl Beaumont. This works on a few levels when you realize who the Phantasm is, and yes, we are going to go into spoilers about who it is because, well, if the friggin' action figure did it, so can we.
Oh, I didn't know that. I think I actually remember something like that,
first
actually.
animated PG movie, and it earns it. There's not only a decent body count in this, but some of these deaths are impressively violent. But, you know, Sing 2 has the same rating. What was in Sing 2? I'm sorry, what requires parental guidance in Sing 2? Rude. Rude. This is a guy who gets squashed by a statue in his own grave. But shit, be careful, parents. Rude!
Rude.
The Phantasm decides to better kill Saul. Nope, gonna make it work. And gets away from Batman just in time.
Kill Saul.
Well, I can't follow that. I'll just call it a day. Councilman Arthur Reed, played by Hart Bachner, thinks Batman killed Saul and tries to get a nationwide manhunt going for him.
A lot of people, including the police, I might add, think Batman's as unstable as the crooks he brings in.
He's just doing this so more people will call his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was in that movie.
In manner, Bruce wines and dines many of his lady friends.
He sounds so different in that movie.
Never say the M word in front of Bruce.
What?
Haven't you ever thought about marriage?
The jilted lover is pissed off that he vanished out of nowhere as Reed takes this opportunity to open up an old wound.
At least since that one girl, Andrea Beaumont. How'd you let her get loose?
Thanks for the handkerchief, Arthur. You know where you can stick it.
Now that was very rude. At least 5 Sing 2s. This really should have been PG-13. In an almost Citizen Kane-style flashback, Bruce remembers when he first met Andrea, played by Dana Delaney, who apparently did such a good job they brought her back to play Lois Lane.
Yeah, yes.
Who that was Bruce Wayne.
Wow.
Who are you talking to?
My mother. Let me out, she's a psycho, help! Andrea Beaumont.
Bruce Wayne.
I know, the boy billionaire.
But Wayne doesn't have time for love as he's putting his plan into action to stop crime as a vigilante. Give credit too, this is the first Batman movie to focus on him developing his superhero identity, which is an element Christopher Nolan would focus on in the future.
There was only one thing wrong. They weren't afraid of me. I've got to strike fear in them from the start.
Maybe a Christopher Lambert voice from Mortal Kombat.
There's nothing to stop Gotham tearing itself apart.
Andrea shows up insulted that he didn't call her yet. Yeah, that's fair. I should use that number you didn't give me.
It's been 3 days since we met and still no calls. I figured you must be dead or something.
Delaney really is perfect as the cheerful optimist turned vengeful brooder like out of a gothic 40s film or, yes, a dark comic book. It's a role she honestly already perfected in Tombstone, which came out the same year.
Oh, wow.
In fact, some of the lines are eerily similar.
I had no idea she was in Tombstone.
Oh, he laughs. Oh, he's laughing again.
He knocks some sleeves onto her dress as we cut back to the present day where the Phantasm kills
I'm
another
gonna watch
gangster.
that again.
And as cool as Stacy Keach's voice is, I don't think anyone can make the name Buzz sound scary.
Buzz.
I always want to follow it with your girlfriend. Woof. Not only is the story very much like a 40s film noir, but the imagery is too. In fact, if you want a cool experience, try watching it in black and white. I know a lot of people are doing that with Fury Road, but I'm telling you, this movie looks pretty amazing with that treatment too.
I kind of want to sting to that, yeah.
Again, Batman is mistaken for the killer, and what a coinky-dink. Andrea happens to be back in town around the same time. She also puts together who Batman is pretty fast.
Bruce?
Well, that's just far-fetched. She clearly needs to be an orphan and just look at him in the face. That I believe.
Oh my god, get over
Well
it.
drawn as Batman is, usually blending into the shadows. How did nobody notice him here?
Remember this place?
Sure. You mean...
Talk louder!
No, don't look at me! Just talk louder! He has yet another flashback, the one they went to the World's Fair. This might be my favorite setting for the film, as it shows the young, optimistic hopefulness of the future, contrasted later with the dark, corrupt present we eventually get.
Yes.
At last I meet the elusive Bruce Wayne.
Bruce is introduced to her father, a businessman named Carl, who has ties to the mob. Again, since we're going to spoilers, I loved showing this movie to friends and asking if they could guess who this gangster was. Nobody ever gets that it's the Joker, but they're thrilled when it's revealed.
Yeah, I love
Part of
doing
what makes
that.
that so clever is this guy is shown first, and the Joker is shown second. So you know he exists, obviously, but you're not thinking this could be him. If the Joker was revealed earlier, I think people might have figured it out too early. Bruce tries to stop a robbery, but is thrown off when Andrea acts concerned. He questions further if his future of being Hot Dog Man should be a reality.
Hot Dog Man.
As long as there's someone waiting for me to come home.
I'm waiting for you to come home, sir.
Alfred.
In a pretty emotional scene, Bruce pleads with the grave of his parents to give him a chance at a real life, as he didn't plan on being happy. The lightning strike every time he asks is about as gothic an answer you can get.
I can give money to the city. They can hire more cops.
No!
Please.
No!
Maybe they sent me.
We did not bat before hounds, Spirit.
Back in modern day, another aging gangster named Salvatore, played by Ava Goda, is concerned that Batman will get him next.
Is it true?
We have.
Yeah, I remember that was Ava Goda.
That's just beautiful. Why? I'm too old for this.
He said the same thing when he was forced to do Good Burger.
Pull over. It's not very healthy in here.
No!
Batman puts together that the gangsters the Phantasm is killing are connected, and Alfred can't help but hope maybe after this is all done, he'll reunite with his old flame.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your butt.
No.
Bloody well off to.
Don't bring up this morning!
To another flashback where Bruce finally decides to put Batman on hold and follow his heart.
Oh, never mind. I'm no good at this.
Cigarette?
I always felt like you never knew what to do with me because I wasn't in the plan.
I'm changing the plan.
How does Batwoman sound?
She would have made a good Batwoman. Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have proposed in the same spot Jane Eyre got proposed in. After dropping her off, though, the ring is mailed back with a letter saying forget about her.
Left with Dad. Too young. Need time.
I don't smoke. Being the world's greatest detective, he won't follow this up at all. It's the early years. He's a junior greatest detective. And we're given one of the best Batman costume reveals in any movie. How good is it? It doesn't even show the costume. It's just Alfred's reaction with that phenomenal music. And it gives me chills every time.
Yep, every time.
I guess the one thing I haven't found out that much yet is the mystery.
What?
It's not really that hard to figure out. You know it can't be any of the characters from the show. Reed would be too obvious, and the father is introduced too late for that to be a satisfying reveal. So you know it has to be Andrea. Her arriving in town early was a clever decoy, but everything else points to her. It always seemed just a little too obvious, and that can be distracting.
Oh, is Dark Knight Month ruined for you now?
Okay, seriously, why do we have so many sandbags?
I will make you pay.
It's Tamara.
I don't even think that makes sense, Tamara.
Tamara? What makes you say that?
Tamara, come on, the sandbags were embarrassing enough, but this is spectacularly embarrassing.
No, not her at all. In fact, oh, here she comes. I better run, cause she's so strong and she will beat me up.
Yeah, that's right, you better run. okay, I got him, Critic. Don't worry.
Tamara, there's not enough stop signs to convey what you have to do.
What are you saying with your words? I definitely... He's back! I shall kill him!
No more.
Woo! I just got away from that.
I heard a fight. Was there a fight?
Malcolm, how come you and the Phantasm are never in the same room together?
Oh my god. Never thought about that. Maybe I'm the Phantasm.
I just know I'm not the Phantasm.
Okay, we're taking a break. Believe it or not, the Phantasm is causing some chaos around here.
We should really get on that.
Yes, I'll be watching myself very closely.
That Malcolm's pretty sus, huh?
Only character who can make things more complicated.
Yes. Is it B?
He goes to the Joker, played by Mark Hamill, to see if he can get him on the hook.
Business. I got...
Ooh, business sounds like fun.
Not only does Joker add a lot of energy and humor in this macabre story, but it's pretty risky when you consider the Joker is the B villain in this. How many Batman movies are there where he's the side character and not the main antagonist? Good Batman movies.
That isn't even a Batman movie.
All those weirdos around.
He's the perfect drop of chaos that raises the tension halfway through the movie. Like Steve Buscemi's character in Con Air if he actually did something. Also, how did Ponder Joker hands not become a meme?
Your hands are just...
When Salvatore pushes him too far, the Joker gets his revenge while Batman visits Andrea getting back from a date with Reed. No! I go back and forth between Andrea acting cold to him, as it was technically her who called things off. Yes, we discover the reason why later, but she seems pretty harsh over a breakup she caused.
You still following your dad's orders?
The only one in this room controlled by his parents is you.
I guess you could argue she's let down by what he became, and that he never led that normal life that he indicated he could lead.
I like the cape. Not sure about the mask, though.
You ever think of something skullish? Just later that night, the Phantasm goes to take out Salvatore, but it looks like the Joker got to him first.
Your angel of death awaits.
Oh, most people I'd say that to have a sad face.
Batman tries to put a stop to all this, but it looks like the police are trying to stop him as well.
Step away from the edge of the room.
Oh, it'll find its way back home. Yeah, did they confiscate that or what?
Did they even move it?
They get the SWAT team from the Blues Brothers, and honestly, this is a pretty suspenseful scene.
Yep,
We get
very
the
much
first drops
so.
of blood we've seen in any animated Batman property. Bruce takes his mask off to fool the cops, leaving him exposed. And in animation, you can get the antagonist as close as you want to him, just missing who he is, making this a really heart-pounding moment.
Andrea.
Hurry!
Just move the cloak and scythe out of the way. The day is saved, and Andrea finally tells Bruce the truth of what's going on. Later that night, when she was dropped off, the mob demanded their money, but Carl couldn't get it in time.
As soon as the European banks open, I'll have the whole amount wired to you.
Oh, there's a lot of Star Wars references in this.
He doesn't have the money, though, and it would take some time to get. Andrea tells them that Bruce proposed to her.
So why don't you just ask him for the money?
They didn't want to get him involved. I don't know. But she said the mob still wanted more, and to get revenge, her father became the Phantasm. Or maybe someone related to him, who if their voice was altered, maybe would sound like him? Again, this is why I love Keach voicing both parts. Well, talking about fathers and dead people is pretty hot. Want to make out? Leave a tie on the door, sir. So after they bat-banged, yeah, again, wearing that PG rating like a badge of honor, Bruce makes a discovery looking at an old picture of the mobsters. Again, this reveal is awesome.
Oh, no.
The Penguin! I love seeing people's reactions to this. It's both a mixture of laughter and, oh shit, everything just got worse.
And to think our tax money goes to pay those jerks.
I always love, too, there's one moment where Hamill loses the Joker voice. It's when he visits Reed and he says the words, "to find out."
What do you want?
To find out who's iced the old gang.
What?
To find out.
I don't know why, I always thought that was really cool.
I never noticed that all these
Tries
years.
to get answers from Reed. Batman
Wow.
does the same after he's injected with laughing toxin. It makes for an intimidating but also pretty funny scene.
Why did the Joker?
I don't know. I always got the implication that he
Her
died.
tongue's fire hydrant red. Seriously, they're glowing in the dark! He reveals that he got involved with the mob, and when he couldn't pay them back, he handed over Carl's location because he was his accountant.
You sold him to the mob.
I was broke, desperate. They said all they wanted was their money back.
I offered them all Rolexes, it did nothing! Batman goes to Andrea's apartment to get more answers, but she's not in. Suddenly, the telephone rings.
Hello?
Miss Beaumont!
There's no use jumping out the window this time.
The Joker tries to blow up her place, but Batman stops it, and we finally learn what happened after she and her father fled. Oh, I knew we shouldn't have hit at Falcone Estates. Back in modern day, the Joker gets a little... the scene explains itself.
What do you say, hon? Feeling the old electricity tonight?
I don't know what's more disturbing, the fact that the Joker would bang a robot or the fact that we have no problem believing he would. We're given the big reveal that the Phantasm was in fact the whole time Andrea.
So you figured it out.
I kind of love how the extra padding to disguise her figure just flies off when she loses the mask. That's some dedicated sewing right there. While the animation in this movie is great, it's spectacular in the last third. The fights, the smoke effects, the expressions, everything about this climax is really impressive. Even the sound design. I know it doesn't get talked about much, but a good chunk of this climax and a lot of the film's action sequences also works because everything sounds as massive as it looks.
Yes,
Okay, that was a T-Rex, but you get the idea. It sounds just as good. Batman gets there just in time to stop the Joker from chopping her into pieces. You owe me a bike. A good argument about justice and vengeance that again is mirrored in future Nolan movies, and she makes a good point about what a thin line it is between what they do.
What will vengeance solve?
If anyone knows the answer to that, Bruce, it's you.
I like, too, he doesn't have a witty comeback. Something like that is saved later when there's a speech from Alfred. I think I always liked a Batman who's smart and doesn't always get duped, yet doesn't have everything figured out either.
Leave, Andy. Now.
Jesus, Miss Hove's self-defense class for girls is next level shit! I actually love how it's never revealed how she performs these tricks, but it's still done within a cloud of smoke. Not just adding to the Phantasm's look, but also showing it's probably just an illusion we haven't figured out yet.
That's pretty true.
Really fun fight with the Joker, almost mirroring a Godzilla-style climax.
Yeah.
Batman knocks his tooth out, somehow making him funnier than he already is. Even when shit gets real, you can't help but laugh at that ridiculous gap in his teeth. Joker says he's gonna blow up the amusement park, but Batman stops him from escaping, meaning they're all gonna get blown sky high. And I'm really glad I can go into spoilers with this one because, man, I was sick of cropping this shot whenever I wanted to talk about the most epic Joker laugh. While we're on the subject, this is the most epic Joker laugh. It really does show how far Andrea has fallen as she basically chooses revenge over saving her true love. Though he gets out pretty much through dumb luck. Bruce and Alfred remark on how far gone she is.
Vengeance blackens the soul, Bruce.
Vengeance
I
blackens the
always
soul.
feared you would become that which you fought against.
Alfred has always been fatherly, but again, this really has a Nolan feel to it.
Probably.
I'm honestly questioning more and more how much he might have been inspired by this.
But Andrea fell into that pit years
It's a great
ago,
shot, too.
and no one, not even you, could have pulled her back.
Andrea decides, screw it, she's going on vacation. But she can't take a vacation away from herself as she says her most emo line.
Do you want to be alone?
I am.
So alone!
Batman broods alone as well, but at least the city forgives him. Either that or he blackmailed Reed to get him off the hook. And we end again with some of the most chilling music in anything Batman.
But still, you never see him again.
said to be the most authentic Batman movie, and honestly, I can't disagree with him.
Yep.
Like I said, if I had one issue, I wish the mystery was a little stronger. I mean, I feel like we could have put out a better mystery. Again?
Go Phantasm.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, Critic. I'll get him.
You get him, Malcolm.
Got him. Oh my god, I've had enough of this. Okay, let's see who this Phantasm really is. What?
That's right. It was me the whole time.
Of course it was.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I for
I mean,
sure
you
thought
said it was Malcolm.
It was all part of my diabolical plan, you see. I went to extreme measures to look like Tamara.
But how?
I spray painted my wrist white and wrote diabetic.
Then what?
I altered my voice to sound like a lower version of your voice.
Okay, how the hell did your height change when you put on the mask?
I have to have some secrets.
This is the stupidest mystery I've ever been a part of.
Exactly! Nobody's expecting a great mystery because it's a review show.
Oh, and since we did an okay one, or even any mystery at all, it's pretty impressive.
It's not even an okay one.
You didn't see it coming.
Okay, maybe the mystery in this is a little better than I thought.
Yes, I didn't see all these
Often do
things.
detective stories. This is one of the few that offers a mystery you can solve on your own. Even the Batman is him solving a case, but you aren't given the clues to figure it out. In this one, you are. And it's still the only Batman movie to do that. Also, as many critics have pointed out, this is much more of an adult Batman movie than the adult Batman movies that were being made. But it is still meant for older kids as a starting point. And I think older kids would find this a decent mystery. And yeah, as I've learned, writing a mystery can be more difficult than I thought. It also might be the shortest Batman movie, with a running time of only 75 minutes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. If anything, it had a huge advantage because the characters were already set up from the show. But even if they weren't, you could get what they were about very quickly. When I think of something that encompasses the essence of what Batman is over the years, I do think of the animated series, and this movie is lumped in with that. This feels like a film that was underestimated but has really grown a dedicated following over the years as being the truest Batman flick. I can think of no better way to close out Dark Knight month than praising a movie that best represented what The Dark Knight was all about. It pretty much is everything you think of when you think of Batman.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember.
Wait, did you fight me in the hallway earlier?
I'm not safe here.
So yeah, that was the review for Batman Mask of the Phantasm by Nostalgia Critic. And I gotta say, he did a great job, as I knew he would. He gave the movie the proper respect it deserved, and it's honestly, I really wish more people knew about this movie. It's very similar to what I was afraid might happen to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but thankfully through word of mouth, people more and more got to watch it, and reactors like me even get to react to our first time watching it. And it's all of these, they're just great movies. There's honestly, that's my favorite Spider-Man movie, so yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of that in that sort of way. Not that the plots are very similar, but yeah. But yeah, I also have a weird history with this movie. I loved Batman all my life, but again, I would watch the trailer to this movie on Free Willy, on the trailer on Free Willy, but I never got to see it, and it wasn't as easy to get on home video back in those days. So I think it was around the time actually I went to college that I watched that movie finally, and boy, it blew me away. It really did. It it really just changed my life as far as superhero movies go. And I think Doug is a little wrong about that. I think the mystery is a little bit more intricate than he gave it credit for, and I don't think he would have been able to come to those conclusions right as he was first seeing the movie. And really, that's the most important part when you first see the movie. if you want to come back and see the movie and see it, like, you know, it brings you back to watch the movie, and, you know, I guess that kind of spoils you. But yeah, I think it's my favorite one here because of the amount of mystery that it has. So, you know, that's it for me today. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully I can get you as much content as I can out there. And I'll see you soon. All right, see you later.